Welcome back to What Arty Noobs. This is the T30, it's the Tier 9 American turreted tank destroyer. It's located on the west spawn of Airfield, and this one is under the command of RNG. Is my 5-letter word I can't say because YouTube will ban my video. At least not ban it, they will demonetize it, so I won't be able to get the revenue off it if I mention that word. For some reason it's a forbidden word as far as they're concerned. Well, this tank is one of a group of heavy tanks that were actually produced by the Americans during the war. They started off with the T29, which was armed with the 105mm gun, and then they came up to the T30, which they armed with a 155mm gun, and then the T32 armed with a 90mm, and the T34 had the 120mm gun. So varying designs with different guns on different turrets mounted on basically the same body, the same hull. Not quite the same, I mean, there were some changes. This gun is, as I said, 155mm, but will do 750 alpha, and it'll penetrate through 276mm of armor with standard ammo, and he's only got one standard round in this game, and the premium rounds will go through 320mm of armor. Well, this is tier 10, and he's bounced around from a Conqueror. He's also got 6 HE rounds that will do 950, and they will penetrate 90mm of armor. His first shot is a high roll for 850. Now, there is one of these actually being held at the National Armour and Cavalry Collection at Fort Benning, and if you pop over to Sophie's channel, Sophie Line, you can actually watch and see this vehicle, because yes, she's got a video showing the T30. In fact, several pictures of her climbing all over one. A blind shot there. Bit expensive for a blind shot. He's been spotted. He's up against the A Phase 1, the CS59 and the T49 on Temple Mount. This is the area I called Temple Mount. Oh, got smacked by the Arty. He was too stationary for long. In fact, the shell landed directly in front of him and he lost 206 hit points. He was very lucky that it did land just in front of him. If it actually impacted, I think he probably would have lost a lot more. The hull is fairly weak, but the turret's very strong. It's got just under 280mm of armour at the front of the turret, 127 at the sides and 102 at the rear, but the hull has only got 102mm at the front, 76 at the sides and 51 at the rear, so it's fairly weak on the hull but very strong on the turret. You can see actually that the impact point appears to be on the gun there. Maybe the shell actually landed on the ground right in front of him, but it may have impacted the gun at the same time. Oh, the Conqueror is over there. He is in that bush, isn't he? Well, maybe. It appears that he is over there. The Conqueror is still bouncing rounds off him though. Yeah, it's rather expensive for him to be doing what he's doing. The Conqueror was actually hiding behind the rocks, so he pulled back after those series of shots coming his way. We're one down on the enemy at the moment. GW Tiger's obviously behind that rise as well, right at the back. T54 making his way forward. Oh, that CS59's redeployed, and there he is, he's trying in our direction. Oh, now that's not bad actually. HE round on the CS59 generated 352mm hit points. And we've got a T49 that's managed to sneak round behind us over towards the south. Now the HE rounds will probably do him a lot of damage. There he is. Hello. Well, that's the end of the T54 lightweight. In fact, I thought that was the T49, but he just literally blew his turret off with an HE round. 1,007 hit points of damage. Remember, I did say it was 950 alpha for, at least I think I did say, 950 alpha for the HE with 90mm of penetration. Yeah, and the T54 did not fare well. Now this is before the HE changes took place, this battle. In fact, it's actually in 2020. So that's why the HE had so much effect. Try doing that with today's rounds and you probably won't pen. Surprising, because the T54 doesn't have much in the way of armour. But the lightweight version doesn't, because that's why it's lightweight. They've taken off most of the armour. He's waiting for the T49 to pop his head above that ridgeline so he can shoot at it. Just checking to see what damage. You can see where the Conqueror shells actually bounce off the turret. Fairly accurate shooting by the Conqueror, but unfortunately just didn't get in the right spot. You really do need to hit that cupola right at the back of the turret. That's the weak spot. The turrets were very strong on these tanks and the series of tanks, but it's always been the cupola which is the weak spot. The Conqueror's come around the corner. He did go by the south, and here comes the T49. Oh, he missed him! How could he miss? He's probably kicking himself right now because the reload time on this gun is very long. It's 20.13 normally, and he's going to go for the roof of the turret on the Conqueror, and he easily goes through that, no problem at all. But he's taken another Arty round. This time it hit the vehicle at the rear. I don't think we can see the impact point, but yeah, hit the rear. So we've got a T49 in our rear, and he's actually going after our Arty. An RMG, well, he's proceeding to move ahead. We do have a standard B in the vicinity, but unfortunately we just lost one of our Arty, and they've just lost their AE phase 1. And unfortunately we just lost the other Arty as well to the T49, so we've lost both Arty support. But we are 2 tanks ahead of the enemy now. I think the standard B's going after that T49. Two of the enemy's remaining vehicles, the standard B and a Waffenträger, are over on the far northeast corner. It's going to be really difficult to dig them out though, that's the problem. T49's just killed our other Arty, the FB3805, so he's just earned himself a Pascucci's. And he suddenly killed the standard B as well, so now we've got a real threat because the enemy is in our rear and there's nobody there to stop him. That's one enemy Arty down. The Batchat 25T AP is going back to try and kill the T49. And our convoys found the other Arty, the remaining enemy Arty, the GW Tiger. Standard B's worked out where we are, and it's actually just the other side of that ridgeline, but you can know that the Waffenträger is watching us, and yes, there he is. We know exactly where you are now. You're in the bushes. No, didn't get it right that time. Okay, he's decided the best thing to do is split the fire by going in at a different angle. He can take care of the standard B and then go after the Waffenträger whilst the our teammate in the T10 keeps them occupied from the top of the ridgeline. There's the T49 making his way through the passes, coming towards us. I think he's trying to act as a distraction for his teammates. Hello! That's the end of him. Standard B's trying to outflank our T10 as well. No, let the T10 go after him. T10 will take care of that standard B. I'm only worried about the Waffenträger getting a shot on the T10. He could wipe him out. He is a one shot for a Waffenträger, and the 25 TP's come back. I should say 25 TAP has come back. Oh, now okay. If we go up high, and the Batchat pokes out on one side, the T10 pokes out on the other, we might be able to get shots on the Waffenträger. Trouble is, he's probably going to want to fire at us instead of the others. You can't see the impact point. I think actually one of the impact points might be on the rear of the vehicle. Of course, the other way for this to work is for the back chat to pull back, go along the B row, right next door to the cliff edge, until he can sneak up on the Waffenträger, and then he can get around. But he's actually trying to just put the turret above the ridgeline, so the Waffenträger fires at the turret. He's been spotted, and a lovely hit, a high roll for 779. The Waffenträger's now taking damage. He's unloaded. And the Batchat 25T AP is going in for him and gets the kill. And that just leaves the standard B. So it's everyone after the standard B now. Oh, hit the rock. This thing does move very slowly, but it's got a big punch. And there you go. He's out the game. And that's a Top Gun. And I don't think the Batchat was very happy about that. I think he wanted that kill instead. And he fired into us right at the end. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was an ace tanker game for Orangey as my you-know-what in the T30. He managed to get a bruise and medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 5. He got a demolition expert because he blew up one of the enemy tanks, and he also got a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points to his own vehicle. He got a high caliber because he dealt the most damage in that game overall, and his last kill, the standard B, was the Top Gun. So yes, he got 6 kills. Kind of angered that Batchat 25T AP, but there you go. Can't have it all. Let's have a look at team score. 5,098 was the high caliber figure. The second highest damage was the AMX M451 rather, with 3,246 hit points, and the third highest damage was the A Phase 1 he killed. Naturally, no, that's on his team rather, not the enemy one. The enemy one didn't do much at all. 2,981 for his the A Phase 1 on his own team. When it came to kills, he had the highest number of those with 6. 3 kills went to the T49, 2 kills to the Batchat T25T AP and the VK4502 and the A Phase 1 on the enemy team. That's the one he killed. And when it came to base XP, yes, he's got that one as well. So he's got the top in all 3 columns on this one. 1,273 base experience points. The only one over 1,000. 825 for the A Phase 1 and 784 for the VK4502. He fired 15 rounds in this game. Got 10 direct hits and 8 penetrations on the enemy. 2 splash as well. Did fire some HE rounds. 5,098 hit points of damage, of which 943 were done at more than 300 meters. 5 hits received, 1 penetrated, 3 non-penetrations, and 2 hits by way of splash damage as well. 640 hit points of damage blocked by armor. The penetrating shot, if I remember correctly, was the Waffenträger. He poked above the ridgeline and he managed to get it in before he realised, oops, he's in the bushes. 1 enemy vehicle was spotted, 8 enemy vehicles were damaged, 6 killed, and 263 hit points of damage assistance. He earned 46,212 credits, 50,000 for completing a personal mission, and after repair, ammunition, resupply and consumables took away a profit of 13,208 credits altogether. 1,273 XP times 2 for the first victory, 955 for personal missions payout, took away 4,775 experience points altogether. The T30, it's a bit of a monster, but it's actually got such incredible damage capacity, and it's quite a beast as well. If you see it in those Sophie videos, and you see how big it is, how incredible it is. Never got put into production, never mass produced, but it's still there as an example of the heavy engineering that the Americans made during the war when they were trying to come up with a heavy tank to take on the Tigers and later to take on the IS-3s if they ever decided to cross the border. So, yes, only 2 prototypes of this one built actually between 1945 and 47, and it just wasn't approved for mass production. There you go. So if you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm.
Paw. 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 Rhea, look. Paw. Do your paw. Rhea, paw. Paw. Look. Paw.
And thank you for watching.